Regular board meeting of the Morgantown Utility Board. We are down our chair and vice chair today, so I'm sitting in. And apologies of any less than smoothness from a fairly green chair, but someone who's been to more public meetings than I wish to count. So, first order of business after our call to order is the approval of our meeting minutes from our regular meeting on September 10th, 2024. Do I have a motion to approve those, or if there are any corrections or scrivener's errors that need to be taken?
So moved.
Second, look good to me.
All right. We have a motion and a second for the approval of the meeting minutes of September 10th. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And aye. All right. Now let's do that to the public portion of our meeting, which is subject to the rules established by MUB, and it does not look like we have anybody this evening in attendance to participate in the public portion. So move along from there. Under new business, we have none, but under old business, I'll hand things over to our general manager as we have a good number of items currently underway.
Okay, great. This evening, our first item is the Cheat Lake Wastewater Treatment Plant and Collection System upgrades. The project is currently being advertised for bids. The rate ordinance unanimously passed first reading at City Council on October 1st. I thought it went very well. One of our prime contractors has requested an additional week to review plans and specifications and prepare their bid. And it's we'll move the bid opening from October 15th to the 22nd, but it does not impact the bond closing whatsoever. So we've gone ahead and authorized our consultants to send out the addendum to give the extra week. And so I think that'll be a big help.
We still, we discussed a little bit after the last meeting, do we need to have any sort of special meeting between now and our November regular meeting to approve this, to keep everything on track for the December bond closing?
I do not believe so, but I'll defer
I don't
to Jeff.
think at this time. Okay. We'll keep it fluid just in case.
Yeah, we don't want there to be a hang-up, so if we're the possibility of there being one, by all means, make sure we are properly noticed, and I think we'd be all happy to make sure we have a quorum passing if we need to get that project going.
We are not shy. So our second item, the West Ridge Chaplain Hill water and sewer projects. So on just to let you know, our directional drill project, that would be the new water line under the Mon River to serve Westover. We're still waiting on some of the paperwork to come in from our contractor. We are going to meet with them tomorrow and have a discussion about that and where they are. So we'll have a better handle on what we can expect, when we can expect the delivery. On the second contract, the Chaplain Hill Water System upgrade, we've already had a pre-construction meeting with Bear Contracting. So it is moving forward, and I believe they are already submitting the paperwork for approval of materials. Is that correct, Rich?
Yes.
So that is moving forward. I think the sign went up today, notifying everyone of the EEG funds and how well this is going to work out for us. The water storage tank, they've been given the notice to proceed, but we don't expect them to start till next spring, which that'll be on track. That won't be a problem at all. I imagine just ordering materials will take some time. I'm hearing it's about 9 months, and that from order to receipt. They haven't said that to us yet, but I've heard in other contract from other projects around the state. The sewer system, our staff engineer, Ken Hacker, he's in the process of setting up a pre-construction meeting, and we're waiting on shop drawings to come in for approval. So it is moving forward. Rich, is there anything you want to add?
We're talking about Pocono there?
The Chaplain.
Oh. Not the Chaplain, no. those really haven't got off the ground yet, but looking forward to those.
I thought those go underground. Sorry, the board chair needs to say something to shut me up.
You have to practice your dad jokes.
Yeah, still rookie.
So, Upper Pocono Run stream restoration and sewer line replacement project. We are again waiting for some of the shop drawings for materials to come in for review. Also, Ken Hacker is going to be working with the Loretta Incorporated, our contractor, and set up a pre-construction meeting. And so that's all moving forward. Again, just as a reminder, because of the bat habitat, we cannot begin construction until the 15th of November. So we expect them to start then or shortly thereafter.
Yeah, we've given them authority to purchase materials and be ready to go November 15th. So that's the expectation, is that they'll be off and running November 15th.
Our EPA Brownfields grant down at Dinsmore. You see that it looks pretty nice down there.
It really does.
The new fencing is up. We're still working with our consultant, Greenbrier Environmental Group, on the monetary deduct from Reclaim for leaving the concrete floors and asphalt in place. So we're still working on that part of the project. We did meet with West Virginia DEP on last Friday, on the 4th, to begin the discussion of entering the property into the voluntary remediation program. And that went very well. It was nothing was noted that was concerning. So you'll see some straw and down on where we're going to plant some grass and do some things like that. There's some trash that needs to be picked up that it wasn't for the contractor to do. We're going to clean that up. So it looks really good down here.
Great.
The City of Westover O&M agreement is now in place. It's been approved by the commission. Chip and I had a meeting yesterday with the mayor and the city clerk, and we signed all the paperwork to take over the checking accounts. And so we are now managing the system. And I want to thank Mayor Lucci. He was great about everything. He's been wonderful to work with through this whole process. He reminded me yesterday and said, hey, you need anything at all, give us a call. We're here to help any way we can. So very encouraging. It was a good time we met there. So, Chip, you have anything you want to add on that?
I mean, it went very smooth. It was a nice meeting. It was good.
Oak Court, Briar Patch Lane, the planned King's Court development is going to give us an opportunity to work with the developer and the Mon County Commission to partner on the construction of stormwater system upgrades that will serve the new development and the existing neighborhood. This project will replace a privately owned and undersized storm system that has been plaguing Oak Court for decades. It's notable that this project was part of Strand and Associates' recommendation in the PER that they prepared for us after we had the flooding, the big storm. So this is a great opportunity to fix a problem.
I think this is a wonderful partnership between the developer, the commission, and I'm so glad that this is happening. I think if this is more like this occurs moving forward, it will be of great benefit to not only the operators of our stormwater system, but all the residents of Mon County who are relying on it.
Anytime we can partner and pool in funds on a project like this, it's always great to do so. The Van Voorst sanitary sewer improvements. Rich, you want to talk about that this evening?
Sure. We've talked about this before, but as a recap, it's 4 of the HOAs out there, Baker's Ridge, Brentwald, Mountain Cliff, and Brentwald Estates, approached us about hooking up to our sewer system. They have package plants now that serve their communities, and so we've gone through in the RFQ process and the 5G process and picked an engineering firm. Thrasher Engineering was selected to do the initial design, preliminary engineering report, and an I&I study to kind of get a gauge on what their system looks like. Because ultimately MUB would take over those systems, and so we want to understand what condition they're in and what work needs done on them to bring them up to the standard that we need them to be in before we take over. And so part of that work that Thrasher would be doing is the investigation and evaluation of their systems and also the preliminary design of the project that would take their sewer to our facility. They have given us a proposal now, and a cost of $55,000 for the I&I study, and another $40,000 for the preliminary engineering report, and that will get us to the point where we submit that PER to the funding agencies. They need that PER to make a determination on whether they can provide any help. And we hope that is the case. So that'll get us up to that point. So a total of $95,000, and it is our recommendation that the board approve that contract with Thrasher.
And the subdivision associations will be paying the $95,000.
Yes, it's a good point that I forgot to say. Yes.
Yes.
And we do have that money in hand minus the smallest HOA. And so they've deposited all but about $3,000 of that $95,000 already to us.
So I'd be happy as could be if I lived out there to be moving off a package into full-on sewer. All right, looking for a motion to enter into the contract with Thrasher.
I move to approve the agreement between Thrasher Engineering and MUB in the amount of $95,000 for preparation of preliminary engineering report for extending sanitary sewer to Brentwald HOA, Baker's Ridge HOA, Mountain Cliff Development, and Brentwald Estates.
Second.
All right, we've got a motion and a second. Any questions on the vote?
Just a general question. With the preliminary engineering report, that's to assess not their package treatment, but just the infrastructure of moving from, I guess, their pipes into the MUB sewage treatment process, or?
Yeah, it would be to evaluate their current system. So everything, including the package plant, flows into the package plant. We'll monitor those and determine how much flow that's actually going into their plant, but not a whole lot of evaluation of the plant itself. We
That'll
already know
go
that
offline once they tap in.
just a system that's throughout their development. Where do they lay? Is there any infiltration into the sewer system? From stormwater or from whatever, and manholes, all of that, to see what work needs to be done, whether it's repairing things or moving them, access, things like that.
Will the existing systems be videoed to check out the conditions of the pipes, or how does that work?
Yeah, so it'll be a combination of smoke testing, videoing, and probably some excavation too, and some work around the manholes, but mostly videoing and smoke testing.
And then what happens?
Some dye testing.
What happens to the package plants? Do they get abandoned in place, or do they get removed?
We're not exactly sure. It'll probably we've talked about making it part of the project to decommission those as part of the project, but we haven't got there yet.
Yeah.
Typically, we would try to abandon it in place if we can. Just fill them up.
Mm-hmm. Clean them out, fill them out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Yeah, but
Makes sense.
see whatever, just wait and see what, at the end of the report, what it has to say. But it's critical that for us, because it has to be submitted to the Infrastructure and Jobs Development Council, and then all the funding agencies get a look at it. Recommend the funding package. You never know what grant dollars will be available.
Are those communities currently on MUB water?
Yes.
Any further questions?
Nope.
All right, motion's on the table. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those against? Passes unanimously. Got our general manager's report.
Yeah, so we just finished up a really nice project down at Krebs Park. We did some stream bank restoration. So it turned out very nice. We removed a old abandoned sewer line that crossed the creek. It had been there for a number of years. I think a lot of the kids like to climb on it.
That was a sewer line that was not below ground.
That was the aerial one that people got to climb on. So, I'm sure that there'll be some unhappy folks. But
The playground at Krebs Park is very nice.
it is. Yeah, enjoy the playground. And so that project turned out real well.
Is that done? Is that everything wrapped up with that at this point?
Yes. Yeah, unless I'm missing something. I
I'm
think
just
it's all
curious.
wrapped up.
Yeah, it's finished.
Great.
We're Jeremiah Johnson and Joey's team over at the shop. They did a great job. We've been doing some smoke testing over at Evansdale area. We're looking at doing some lining of the sanitary sewer lines over there. We're working hand in hand with WVU on this. So we've had some issues in the past with some backups and so forth, and so the lining is the most economical way to fix some of those problems. And so I think we were 90% complete last week. I don't know that we've had much going on this week with it, but
I think tomorrow they're going to finish up with the WB property stuff. So it's Lincoln Hall, and then there's some of the crime scene houses that are right there that WB owns. It's the sewer line. It's right there between those. So that'll be all smoke tested tomorrow.
I forget, did we end up buying a sewer liner, or did we contract that out?
contracted out.
We do have the smoke testing equipment now. We did purchase that, but the lining will be a contract.
And we're going to do some asphalt work here at the office, and we're going to do some road work out by the shop. We're going to complete the road and tie them together. Where it ended off in the back, and we're going to make some repairs out here. The parking lot, as you can tell, is in some rough shape, and so we're going to make a few repairs and get it up to par. I think starts next week, Rich.
Yeah, Thursday, Friday next week.
So probably take a couple of days.
Will that impact any of our customers that will need to come pay a visit?
One day it will. Yeah. So we'll put out notice when we won't be able to use the parking lot. Let people know, call in, talk to us if they need anything. But it's important to know we never do cutoffs on Fridays. That never happens on a Friday. So if you have business, we can get you taken care of. If you've got a cutoff notice or whatever, and you can always pay by phone. So that's about it. Not anything really that noteworthy going on, unless you guys have anything you want to share.
All right. The next item on the agenda, board member issues discussions. This is our opportunity to bring up anything or anything that's happened in the last month that is on your mind.
Any updates on the renovation here for the offices?
Well, we have kind of set that back on the back burner a little bit because we needed to get these other projects with the ARPA funds out the door and out to bid. So we, Rich and I have met with our architects and looking at some of the preliminary drawings. We met with about 2 months ago, Rich, down at Dave's office, Omni Architects down in Fairmont. And so it is front of mind, but it is just had to set. We thought it better to concentrate on these projects with ARPA funds because those funds have to be spent by December of 26. And we are going to have some projects come up, with the water plant. I'm expecting we're going to see some interesting projects come out of the long-term recommended projects with a long-term control plan completion. And I think that would be an opportune time to sort of blend the office into those projects as part of it.
Great. And I can't remember what the most recent movement on the trails and public access at Flegel Dam is. Do you all have any updates on the status of that? Or is that more a city project I just need to follow up on?
Yeah, well, they had a pre-bid meeting last week, and Rich participated as well.
Corey participated for us, but we had someone set on the pre-bid call, and also go out to meet with them for the initial part of that. I think they walked the entire site. We didn't necessarily do that, but we were out there during the pre-bid. But the city's handling that.
Yeah. Okay. But you all are in the loop and comfortable with how it's progressing in terms of MUB's involvement.
So yeah, they gave us notice and they got to see what's going on. I had another obligation that day and didn't get to participate.
Cool. And we've kind of moved through the drought period a little bit, hopefully for good this year. But how did that impact the water level in Flegel? How low did it get there? And any issues with us if we needed to use it, would we have been able to? Or?
We actually, at one point, because of the level of the reservoir, we stopped taking water from the reservoir. And we moved our flow down Coben. I think we cut it down. I don't think we cut it down to the minimum.
Oh, no.
I think we just cut it down.
Went from 150 to about 70 gallons a minute. We're only required to pass through 15 gallons a minute, so we're still way above that. But we did cut that back, and we're not taking flow to our plant just to try to keep our emergency pool there.
Yeah,
right.
It's well documented in the news, and Mike, thank you for keeping us updated as the concerns of that semi-truck accident on 79 potentially getting into the river, and thank God it didn't. But it was good to know that that's exactly why we built the new Flegel reservoir.
Yes, and the switchover is made in just a matter of minutes, if it was necessary.
In that worst case scenario, with the fact that we were in the drought, how would we have ended up being in that process with possibly were something to have happened to the river?
We would have been able to switch over to the Flegel reservoir in just a matter of minutes, and we had a 30-day supply.
That's wonderful.
So we were well prepared, and the partnership we have with Downstream Strategies, that group, we have the monitoring system so we can watch it. And one of our employees went out that evening, met with them on site, determined that it was not getting to the water supply. So, that made us feel even better to have somebody on site. And we appreciate the West Virginia DEP, and they called and gave us updates, and so I think it was a lot of good teamwork came out of that.
And our reservoirs gained a little bit over the last week or two, but we still could use a lot more help.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But again, we're well prepared if anything would occur.
I want to personally thank you and Joey and the maintenance team. We had a major water line coming into our building downtown that decided it wanted holes on more than the ends, and Joey came out and helped us get that shut off at the curb because the leak was in between the curb and our shut off valve, and so it was very, very much appreciated. And that pipe has since been majorly overhauled and replaced. You'll be hearing more about that at the MCDA meeting, I'm sure. But thank you guys so much for jumping to on that one. It's greatly appreciated, and don't know why we have a 6-inch pipe in a building that has 0 residents, and only 4 stories. But the great help. So thank you guys.
Don't sell yourself short there. I heard that you were twisting on that valve with Joey.
Well, yeah, I think part of the reason the pipe went is the same reason that the valve needed a little extra push, because it's old.
Yeah, it's old.
That was a fun Thursday night and Friday.
I bet.
Anything else from the...
I'll just say that I talked to several residents in and around the Pocono projects, and they're very excited about them. So super supportive. So.
I think there's nothing that would protect any stormwater system from what we've seen down in the Carolinas and Georgia and Tennessee over the last couple of weeks. But
it's on people's minds, though.
Yeah, and it's 500-year rains are what we ended up getting, was it not, for those 2 times in 2021. So having something that is a whole lot better than what we have now is going to create a lot of peace of mind, because that, unfortunately, the worst can happen, as we've seen. All right. We have the need for an executive session, so if have a motion that would involve the executive session and adjourning upon its conclusion, we'd be happy to hear that.
I move to convene an executive session of the Board of Directors under the provision of West Virginia Code sections 6-9A-49 and 12 to discuss advanced construction planning and other confidential matters which are exempt from disclosure under the West Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and further move to adjourn the meeting at the conclusion of the executive session.
I second.
All right. We got a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. We are adjourned in executive session, followed by adjournment. Thank you all for coming.